you doing? Hi.
This meeting is being recorded.
How's everything?
Oh, no, good, thank you.
Hi, Julia. How are you? Thank you for being here. Hi, Steph. Just waiting for a few people. Hi, Natalia. How are you?
Hi Aisha, good. How are you? Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Mhm.
Waiting for a few more people to join. In the meantime, feel free to put in the chat where you are joining from, just so we also get to know each other. This is a safe space. Add in the chat. Hi, Lakeisha. So it's going to be an interactive workshop. So if you feel comfortable, feel free to put your camera on. No one here is going to bite you. Hi, Julia. Nice to see you. Gonna wait for a few more people and then get started. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead while the other people join. Share my screen. So, okay, so in today's workshop, I want to focus on how to book calls without rejection anxiety. And this is a very important topic to talk about because if you're selling your offer, booking calls is one of the most important skills that you have to master. Because unless you have a large audience and you've built a brand for quite some years already, people are not just going to buy when you post, unless you only want to sell low ticket. But most of us want that freedom. So that means you have to master the skill of selling a high ticket offer. But before we get there, the workshop is really focused on a few things. So, what are the three challenges that are currently holding you back from booking calls with qualified leads? And I know this because I speak to coaches all the time, and the challenges are typically the same. Three shifts that you need to reach your full potential when it comes to consistently generating revenue in your business. So this is really about not oscillating in terms of actions like, okay, 1 minute I can do it very well, and then the next week, my energy is super depleted, I'm not able to take action. And really the one solution to really kick off this journey. And this workshop is for you if you are ready to do the work on yourself to remove the blocks that are holding you back. And with that comes being in an energy state where you want to build authentic relationships by delivering value to your potential clients without having attachment to the outcome. And you're also done at the same time with being friend zoned in the DMs and afraid to follow up. So being friend zoned in the DMs is one of the big challenges of everyone that's trying to use the DMs. It's really not for you if you are looking for only strategy, because by now you probably realize there are so many strategies out there, but unless you can consistently take action, the strategy is just not going to work. And it's also not for you if you are not willing to invest your time your money, your effort, and your energy to take the steps to implement these things. So I don't want to be here giving you this information and we work on things together and after the call you go back to the old way. It's really important to implement because then you get results consistently. And it's also not for you if you are not willing to challenge the story that isn't getting you the results right now. So it's really important for us as women to challenge the story of why maybe reaching out, following up, and rejection is so difficult for us. So before we go there, I want to ask you, what is it that you want to learn today? So Natalia, do you want to share with me what you would like to learn today?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of what you've been sharing about this, and where I'm stuck is in connecting with people, and then the conversation dies down, or they start pitching me their crap, and I kindly want to strangle them through the DM because I don't want to be sold, neither do I want to sell.
So you're getting friend zoned basically.
Yeah, friend zone or horrible, even worse, pitched to death,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, being honest here, that's what's happening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about you, Maria? What is it that you would like to learn today?
Just how to get, be able to schedule calls as well. Um,
And you, Julia, what would you like to take away?
Hello. I think I like the things that you're saying about this giving value in the DM, and I was just curious about this workshop. So there is no expectations, just open mind to learn.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get into it then. So the first thing is we have to forget a bit about right now and imagine what it would feel like and how it would affect your coaching business if you were able to consistently book calls and convert clients. Because ultimately, if you want revenue in your business, you have to do the selling. And I know that there is this false expectation that we are given by the industry that a lot of the times it's like it's the content that sells. But who here has posted content and hasn't made money from posting content? Me, for example, right? Exactly. So we all know that there's something needed even when you're nurturing people in your content or in email to really help them make that decision. And that's where being able to book those calls and convert them comes in. So once you're able to master this skill, even if there's a month where no one is reacting on your content, you know what you have to do to be able to generate that revenue. And that way you are the one that has control in your business. But before we get into that, so I want to quickly introduce myself to the ones that don't know me yet. I'm Aisha, I'm a business and I'm a sales coach for female coaches. And I got into this because my mission is to help women self-actualize. And I really know for a fact that if women are able to sell more, and in a joyful way, they're going to also feel better in their businesses. So this is really what I see as my mission and the value that I want to add to you, but also to other women that are entrepreneurs. And how did I get here? I actually started my professional career in sales, but I really hated it because I was doing cold calling people and booking calls for the account executives, and it really shut my nervous system in a dysregulated state. I also worked in AI product development after that, which really helped me to understand the cycles of building a product from scratch, the same way as the process for starting a coaching business from scratch. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go into entrepreneurship, and I transitioned full time into it. And when I was in that transition of, putting your product on the market and selling it, there were so many reality hits that I had to deal with. Number one was the offer part. So a lot of the times we come on the market with this very pure intention of, oh, I want to help women with their dream lives. That was my thing. Only to find out that all people cared about were leads and clients. And then it's like, oh, if I want to do this, then I need to acquire these marketing and sales skills. And this is where a lot of people get stuck because you struggle to claim your authority in a space when there's already people that are potentially doing what you're doing. I struggled to book calls. I was very avoidant with the DMs. And when I did have people on calls, I was not confident enough. And therefore, I was not able to overcome those objections. So that was in the past. And now, fast forward, I'm able to close four-figure deals with a very simple process to cash. And this works very well if you already have a business, because it's simply content, from the content, the DMs, and then doing your sales presentation. Did someone have a question? Okay. All right. So let's start talking about the problems. And the problem already relates to what I was already saying. The reason why a lot of us are fearing rejection anxiety is because you're probably not excited about your offer. And when you're not excited about your offer, it influences the conviction that you have, because that's a really important thing, right? So a lot of us think, oh, we need confidence, but confidence comes from competence. And if you are not there yet, you just need conviction. And it's so much easier to feel convicted about what value you bring when you are excited about your offer. And we have to talk about offers all the time because offers are it's really the fundamental thing. So I want to know from you, which one of you feels excited about your offer? Just like raise your hand so I know if you feel excited. Okay, Natalia, what do you feel excited about?
I feel like nobody else is combining the alternative healing therapies the way I am. And it's the energetic and the movement and a lot of other things I'm combining with it. So I feel like there's no other offer like it.
Okay, but what about it excites you specifically?
The opportunity to have women break, as a matter of fact, break through a pattern of behavior and see something manifest they never thought was possible, like creating it in reality in a period of working together.
Nice. What about you, Julia? Why are you excited about your offer?
Because also I think it's quite unique, and it's combining all the elements that they are needed to make the business prosper. I'm a business strategist and I'm combined financial education. So basically what I'm excited about, that I'm giving women tools for them to be abundant as stock and how much they want. So how to not to be excited about, and showing them things that they haven't been taught at school.
Yeah. So what is your offer? Can you say your statement?
My statement. So yeah, it's quite basically it's a business mentoring for marketing businesses. I help you mostly women owned marketing businesses, and yeah, when they struggle or they want to scale.
Okay. Lakeisha, what about you? You raise your hand.
Testing, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, love. Okay, so mine, I'm really excited because your life is your results. It shows on how you're doing your personal development, your mindset work, and how you're attracting people. So ultimately, we are fixing ourselves as we fix our life and business because they work as teams. So that's it.
Yeah. Can you say your offer out loud so everyone knows your offer?
My offer is a 6 month program where we are aligning your nervous system and then also helping you with mindset shifts on your business so that you can make things easier for your process as you go along using human design and your learning style.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Okay. So, in talking about the offer, let's talk about what is a good offer and what is not a good offer, right? So, a lot of the times, this type of offer is not gonna help you stay excited. So, when you say, I help people reach their full potential and live their dream life, I see these types of offer a lot. And a lot of the times, people with those offers are also not having a great time selling the offer. In order to be excited about your offer, this is an offer that's more concrete. So I help professional women, so you have a niche, to turn their expertise into an online consulting business. So instead of saying reach their full potential, you're saying what your way of helping them reach that full potential is. Because there is a million ways. So you want to communicate, okay, this is the thing that I'm good at and what I want to do. The other part is more spiritual driven offers. I help female entrepreneurs to connect with themselves. Okay, great, connection with yourself, but what does that mean, right? So what does a female entrepreneur want? A better offer would be to say, I help female entrepreneurs to release their emotions and limiting beliefs so that they can grow their business. So here again, you talk about the outcome, which is to grow their business, and you say how you're going to approach that through emotional release and also letting go of limiting beliefs. So that part is really important. And what we're going to do now is an activity to talk about getting the offer more concrete. And the reason why that's so important is, again, the offer, like I always talk about the offer, even though I say it 100 times, because everything starts there. And when you're not excited or in love with your offer, you're just gonna keep doubting yourself. You're going to keep changing things around a million times. You will not follow up with people that raise their hands to your freebie post because you're not really excited about helping them. You're not going to be following up with them. You're not going to be able to sustain reaching out to potential clients. And rejection is going to shatter you. Or maybe you won't even care because you don't really care about the offer that much. And as crazy as it sounds, a lot of the times people wait for their mentors and their coaches to tell them this is your offer, but they just do it because someone is telling them to do it versus them actually wanting to do it. So what we're going to do now is to work on the offer to make sure that the offer is concrete. So if you already have your offer, just check for each of these things, how concrete is it? So the framework is always that I help a premium niche to a specific outcome and then with your unique mechanism. And the unique mechanism is really important in 2024 and beyond because a lot of people are going to come with the same niche, with the same outcome, but no one is going to be able to do it the way you do it. So this is so important for you to differentiate yourself in the coaching space, which is getting crowded, so that you're also excited about your way. I get DMs of people asking me, hey, I love your no pitch DM method. And that's because I actually invested time and energy into developing this unique mechanism by understanding the market and also knowing the thing that I'm good at. So what I want to do is give us 5 minutes just for you to write down your offer. So your niche, the outcome, and what is your unique mechanism. And then we can spend some time giving each other feedback. And this is also a great way for you to do some market research if you are struggling with your offer or you're not sure how to approach it. This is a great place to get feedback from other ladies. So I'm gonna put a timer for 5 minutes. Does anyone have any question about the exercise we're gonna do? Let's see. Can you repeat?
Oh, sorry. I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the program that it's much more, I would say, complex, that there are many results, right? Like, for example, I'm tackling the aspect of confidence while running the business, like finances, and also the strategy, starting with business basics to marketing and then content. How is this one concrete outcome out of those, all of those things?
Yeah, so the first thing is you need to determine which stage are they in. Are you helping them start, grow, or scale?
They are struggling and they want to grow, or
Okay,
just, yeah.
so growth is then the outcome.
Yeah, but is it tangible enough?
Well, then you can determine from which points to which point. So
Okay.
if growing from 2K months to 5K, 10K months, or is it growing from 10K to consistent 10K months?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Natalia, you had a question.
No, I was just asking you to repeat the assignment so I can write it down because I tend to forget it now. It was the offer,
Yes, so write
problem
down
itself.
your niche,
Mhm.
outcome, and what is your special method.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, 3 more minutes.
I have a question.
Yes, go
Will
ahead.
we be able to review the wording just for replay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic, because I can't be able to do it right now. I'm at my nanny job, but I do want to do this process. It looks very detailed, so I appreciate it.
Yes, I will send it to you after. Find the chat again. Pragati said, I hope I achieve a few entrepreneurs more confident. Okay. Would you like some feedback on it?
Yes, please, Alicia.
Okay. Okay. Who else would like feedback on their offer? We can do 3 people. What about you, Mariette? Would you like feedback on your offer?
Hi, Aisha.
Hi.
Hi, I would like a little bit of feedback on my offer if possible. It's not concrete, but just get people's opinion who are on here.
Yeah, can you send it in the chat?
Oh, hold on.
Okay, Julia. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And open the whiteboard. Okay, let's start with this first one. Okay, so how this works is I'm going to put the offer here and you can read your offer out loud, and then I'm gonna ask everyone to put in the chat if you would buy, yes, or maybe. Just be completely honest. Will you buy yes or maybe? So Pragati, do you want to read your offer out loud?
I help high achieving female entrepreneurs overcome burnout and have a greater work life balance using my Ignite method so they have more time to do what they love with who they love.
Okay. Everyone in the chat, yes or maybe. Okay, who else? Okay, so we have a couple of maybes. Stephanie, would you like to share with us why it's a maybe for you?
Hi. Um, yes, I miss a more specific outcome. It's a little bit like to do what I love. Um, to interpret it, it's a little bit vague. So I would love to hear a little bit more specific what this program will get me to.
Okay, thank you. Natalia, what about you?
I didn't get a picture in my head on what exactly could be available. It wasn't tangible enough. I couldn't picture how could she help me per se.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And do you mean the outcome or the method?
It's a combination of both. It's like I have to pay attention for a long period of time to understand what she does. And by the time I'm kind of like, okay, I get it, but I don't really see 100% the picture, if that makes any sense. It just didn't come out like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, I think this part doesn't add any value, to be honest. And I guess, okay, so if I understand correctly, the women you want to help are currently in a burnout.
Yes.
Okay, so if they're in a burnout, what is the outcome that they want?
They want more time. They want a greater work-life balance. They want time to eat. They want time to do their hobbies and look after themselves, so that they're healthy. They have better relationships with their partners and families, and they get good sleep and nourishment and feel happy and healthy.
Okay, and what is the thing that's burning them out?
They are working 16 hours a day. They are not eating their food. They are drinking coffee all day. Then they feel a void and feel a lack of fulfillment in the evening. And then they do negative coping behaviors like drinking wine and eating chocolate.
Mhm.
And they feel worse, and they're just getting sicker and sicker. Their inner self is dwindling, and they're just really unhappy, and they want to have more control over their time and their day and be more efficient. So,
Okay, so wait. So I think you already gave the answer. So if you have to be specific, like what does work-life balance mean for them, right? So if you're talking about efficiency, then that's what you have to mention. And efficient how? Does that mean they're automating things in their business, they're growing their team and delegating things so that they have more time? That is a more specific outcome versus saying work-life balance. Does it make sense?
it does, but it's really difficult. Like I went to a networking event this morning, and a piano teacher came to me. Now the piano teacher is going to be different from a actual more uh, professional business owner.
Absolutely. So that means you have to choose your niche. You have to
Mm.
choose one group instead of trying to help everyone. So your action points are your niche. You have to go deeper. Which type of female entrepreneurs? Online service-based owners, online consultants, for example. That's one. And number two, the outcome. So work-life balance, you have to become more specific. If you're talking about efficiency and more time for themselves, that's leading towards delegation, automation, growing their team, helping them hire a VA, helping them with processes. That's what it's leaning towards. So those are your action points.
Brilliant. But can I add one more point? So if suppose she wasn't a piano teacher, she's so dedicated to her work that she doesn't want to automate. She doesn't want to do groups. She thinks the quality of her work will be diluted if she does group sessions.
Mhm.
So it's up to her how she wants to deal with this. Like I coach them to help them see different ways.
Absolutely, but I think that's the issue because you want to just apply coaching skills. You're not coaching them towards an outcome. So with claiming an outcome comes you taking ownership over how you're going to be able to help someone, having a system that you can help them implement instead of asking them, okay, so how do you think you can do this? Okay, so how do you, then you don't have leadership there and it's going to be difficult to get clients because you're not talking to the people that are already at the point of, oh, I actually know that I need to do this and I'm going to get a coach to help me do that. Does that make sense?
Again, I'm a bit unclear because what you're talking about is more business and operations coaching, which I'm not. I'm a mindset coach. So I took a look at the beliefs and coping behaviors and mindset. So maybe I need to either change my target market or, yeah, like you said, write it better. So yeah, thank you.
Well, to be honest, you can't escape having to expand your skill set because the coaching, there are three coaching markets. It's either you can help people with wealth, so with business or careers, or you can help them with relationships, or you can help them with their health. So mindset coaching, yes, great skill, but it needs to be applied in a specific market. We can talk about this further in the DMs. Julia, let's go to your offer. Do you want to say it out loud and then the same question, yes or maybe?
I help female marketeers get to first 10K months with Make It Bloom method.
Okay, everyone in the chat, yes or maybe. Okay. Okay, Gabby, do you want to share why it's a maybe for you?
Sure. Because I feel like I need a little bit more information, like how is she gonna help me get 10K months?
Okay, so it's the method.
Yeah.
Okay, so Keisha, what about you? Okay, maybe she didn't hear. So for me, it's also a maybe, not because of the outcome. So specifically here, so female marketeers, can you say more specifically what type of businesses they have? Do they have agencies? Do they have social media marketing companies? Like what type of businesses are they?
Yeah, it's pretty much any marketing related to business. It could be marketing agencies, social media management, it could be even a graphic design. It's all about the businesses that they are within the marketing, communication, and promotion area.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Get to first 10K months is concrete. And then indeed, for me, the only thing why it's a maybe is the method. So can you explain a bit more about your method?
Yeah, so like I just followed the structure of the sentence. So the method is pretty much I have this program that it's entire program that it's coming up from all the things that I mentioned before, strategy, finances, and so on. But it's not like a one specific method.
Right. So that's the thing, right? If someone doesn't understand the vehicle, they won't buy because they're like, okay, but are you going to make me take 100 sales calls, or are you gonna let me build relationships on LinkedIn, or are you going to let me send emails? Like, what is the mechanism that they get to those 10K months? And the way to think about it is just think about the 5 steps that they have to take. That's one of the first questions to approach the special method there. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, Gabby, let's do yours and then we can move on to the next part. Can you read it out loud?
Oh, sorry, couldn't find my unmute button. I help business entrepreneur women improve their romantic relationships with a method of going within for lasting harmony. I meant to add, but I didn't have enough time to type. The title of my method is the Shift Within Method.
Yeah, I'll cut it for you. Okay, everyone, same thing in the chat. Yes or maybe. Okay, you're getting 2 yeses, 1 maybe. Okay, Natalia, can you say why it's a yes for you?
Get it. Number one, it was very short to the point, and I got a clear picture on what would be available for me if I were to hire her to improve romantic relationships with the shift within, which already kind of makes sense, you know. So yeah.
Nice. What about you, Julia? Why is it a maybe for you?
I'm just wondering, like, I think this improve romantic relationship, I think this is very broad, and then depends what is improvement, right? Because I'm thinking that I'm in a very good and healthy relationship, and I can find the area of improvement versus the relationship that I wasn't in the good. So it just, yeah, like maybe it doesn't speak to me in the moment. So yeah, that's why.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, you mean the area of improvement needs to be specified for you?
A little bit more like that, yeah, because improve the romantic relationship, like what is this, yeah, like how, yeah, from what to what, I think maybe this, like desired outcome, kind of.
Okay. Pragati, why is it a maybe for you?
I needed more information on how. I would definitely go and talk to her after that statement. But how does she do that? There's so many relationship coaches. Okay, there's a shift within. I just need more information, to be honest.
Okay, that's no problem. The content does that. But I'm happy to see overall, Gabby, that you have a lot of yeses. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that gives me a little bit of hope. But I appreciate everybody's feedback. And to, I think, Julia's point about the part about how to improve, what area in a relationship I would help improve. Essentially, it would be, and I think that would be on my content, going from like an being overwhelmed in the relationship with whatever issues that may be that need to be improved, to more of a peaceful connection, and going within. It's where it all starts. And I think that, yeah, I could work with that aspect, but I just wanted to know if it captures people's attention, because so many people think, oh, I just need to go to marriage counseling. But I don't know if marriage counseling helps you shift it with my method is going within and dealing with healing your relationship with yourself really is where it starts. I don't think marriage counselors do that. And so that's where my approach would come in.
I like this bit about creating peaceful environment, like this synergy between partners that makes, yeah, because improve the romantic relationship, yeah, it could be for me, but I think sounds very good. It just, this peaceful bit definitely captured my attention.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right. Well, happy you all got some feedback there. And as you can see, getting feedback on your offer is such a powerful thing. So let's continue now to giving a summary, right? So if we want to build up to that place where we are excited about our offers, it's literally those things that we just did. So choose a niche, first of all, that you 100% are going to enjoy working with. So even if you are saying, I want to work with female coaches, choose the types of female coaches. Like if you like spiritual female coaches more than business coaches, focus on those. The other thing is make your offer outcome tangible, because the more tangible it is, the more easy it is for you to communicate the value of what you bring to people. And invest the time to develop your special mechanism so you are one of one in the coaching industry. So that's number one. The problem number two when it comes to booking calls without rejection anxiety is that a lot of the times, quite honestly, we lack energetic alignment with the results that we want. And I speak to coaches all the time about this. And every time I ask, okay, what is it that you want? Everyone says they want 10K months. Everyone says they want to sign high ticket clients. But then when I take a look at their actions, there is a big misalignment there between the desire and the input that is going in the business. And these are just some examples of it. So one thing that happens a lot is the posting and praying. So, hey, I'm going to post a lot of content today because it's fun. It's fun to spend time in Canva. It's fun to go on lives and talk about my story. And then I'm just going to pray and hope that someone is like, yes, here's my credit card, going to spend 3K on you because your life was great, right? The other thing is overly relying on events. So, hey, every month I'm going to do a 3-day challenge, going to promote it a lot, hoping a lot of people come there. But then for that whole month, you're just doing breath work every day because you don't know what's going to happen, how many people are going to show up, and how many people are going to convert. The other thing I see is a lot of people investing money in ads and funnels when they haven't even mastered the ability to convert someone in a conversation. Even if you invest money in ads and in funnels, if someone is on a call with you and you're not able to convert them, it's just a waste of your money, to be honest. The other thing I see is not following up. So either if it's because you're promoting your freebies or people are coming to you, you send them a message back, you see they read it, and you're like, oh, that person ignored me, right? So not following up with them. The other thing is hiring appointment setters too soon without you having the ability and the skill to book your calls yourself. And as a result of that, just relying on selling low ticket because you didn't invest your time, your energy, or money in actually mastering the skill of high ticket, which realistically, when you are at the point where you don't have a large audience, you have to be able to get one person in your program that's paying you at least 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000, for example. And the other thing that I see happening is inauthentic DM scripts. So, okay, majority of sales material is created by men. If you go on Amazon, you check the amount of books. If you go on YouTube, you check the amount of videos. It's all of these bro guys like, hey, just say this, that, and you just adopt that. And that just creates in alignment in action. And the reality is that if we look purely at the actions and the process, it gets to be simple. And this is an example that I use to speak to you ladies, right? So let's say you're looking for a dress that fits you perfectly. Okay, so in the old times, you would go to the city, you window shop, you're looking around, you're connecting with some of the dresses, you're making an evaluation. Do I like this? Yes or no? That's what content does, right? It gives exposure, it gets attention, it gets eyes on it. So content on your feed, in groups, your lead magnets, events. But then you still don't know if the dress is gonna look good for you. So that's where personalized value in the DMs comes in, because it's like, okay, I enter the store now, and there's someone in the store that is asking me questions, that's helping me to see what is the dress that I like, will this dress look nice on me, yes or no, giving their expertise. That can happen through outreach, through inbound. That's where you build relationships, and that's where you show people that you are an expert, right? Because trust, what is trust? It's two things. It's competence and it's character. So at any time, you have to ask yourself, how competent am I, or am I building my competence through practice? And what is my character? If someone doesn't reply, do I immediately get angry? Do I feel entitled that they should be replying? So always thinking about those two things. And then when they finally buy the dress because they tried it on, They like the way they look in the mirror. That's the sales presentation. It closes the gap. They feel that, they experience that, and you get to tackle their objections. Because I can tell you, even if people look beautiful in the dress, their subconscious, which is what actually makes the decision, is going to tell them, no, don't do it. So you have to tackle their objections and you have to master closing skills. But this is strategy. And the truth about strategy is that if our energy or if the emotions underneath the actions are out of alignment, even if your mentor gives you all of the actions, you're still not going to do it. Or you're going to do it because they're pressuring you, or you're going to always end up in programs because you're not able to regulate your nervous system on your own. So the question to you is, where are you energetically? If we look at the three groups, this is where most people are. It's kind of that energy of neediness, right? I need this sale. I'm going to post content and I'm going to avoid the activities that are going to generate money because I'm scared of the reaction of other people. I'm projecting rejection on myself and my self-worth. I'm not going to follow up because they're going to think I'm needy, or I'm not going to follow up because I already gave enough. I'm doubting my value. Is the value good enough? Right? So this is one level, and this is catabolic energy. And as a coach, if you are here and your prospect is here, you cannot help them at all. So at any time, our energy level needs to be higher, because only then we can bring people up. The other part is going into service always helps me. Let me just check the chat. Yes. Okay. Thank you for coming. I will send you the replay. So once we go above the catabolic energy, we start entering the more anabolic energies. And one of the levels that we can aim for is that of care, compassion, and service to others. We are compassionate towards skepticism. Therefore, you expect skepticism. You should expect people to not want to talk to you because they're all getting DMs of 15 appointment setters per day. Do you want an appointment setter? Do you want an appointment setter? The win-win attitude. Hey, this is my expertise. I'm sharing this value with you. Worst case scenario, you improve something in your life. Even if you don't pay me, no worries. Like that abundance attitude. You show up authentically. And then the level above that is complete detachment from outcome. There is an abundance of leads out there. Okay, if you're talking to people and they're all saying no, there are people that will say yes. You're having fun in the DMs. Natalia, for you, that means when people come pitching you, you just turn the conversation around. I do that all the time. When people come in my DMs and they're pitching me, I tell them, look, I really appreciate you, and I feel like I can help you with how to sell in the DMs, because I'm getting a bit of needy energy here. And I respect it. All energy is good, but I can show you how, right? So it's really being in that energy of like compassion, non-judgment, we're all one, following up and innovating. So before we go further, I want to just pause here and ask some of you, Stephanie maybe, where would you say you are energetically right now?
I'm between a 3 and 3 plus.
Okay, can you say more?
It's because of my own energy levels at this moment. Struggling with burnout, um, overdoing in my day-to-day job that has also off hours, so it's not a 9 to 5, it's 9 to 5 plus, and then also being busy building my own business. So when your energy is low, you realize that you're not there to give fully. So you have to work on your energy level first. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm focusing a lot on serving. So if and when I'm ready to start again, to really just give the value so that I am at that threshold of going from level 3 to level 4.
Yeah,
and it
absolutely.
really helps to focus on the value. You take the pressure off.
Yes, absolutely. So that's literally the point there. So anytime we are here, the focus should just be on serving and value, right? You cannot focus on innovating. You cannot focus on not judging people. Just focusing on service is a great step to make. What about you, Natalia? Like, where would you say you are energetically right now in the DMs?
I have a love and hate relationship with the DMs at this point. I used to hate it, now I love it, but it's just so time consuming that it takes much longer. The way that you teach it takes much longer, so I'm not able to contact many people. Taking the time to contact 10 people a day is like 2 hours of my time. So it's like making the time is a struggle. I don't feel in burnout, but I do work long hours. And so I have to be very intentional to enjoy the process and not focus on numbers. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, and I feel that sometimes giving advice could come across as unsolicited advice, so I'm kind of like hesitating in that. I'm no problem connecting. Everybody's pitching me. I haven't tried turning it around, but I really hesitate with coming across like, oh, I can teach you a thing or two, and I always can, yeah, but I hesitate to say that, to come across as arrogant or rude. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. I guess with that, it's really about how you approach it, right? So you can also ask people for permission if you can share something with them. And for you, because your method is so it's a lot of things happening inside of them, you have to always relate the outer world to the inner world. So if you're working with female entrepreneurs, it's about, okay, how are they showing up online? Because that's the outcome that they are likely want to improve, right? So if they want to grow their business, get to 10K months, they have to sell their offers. They have to host events. They have to share client testimonials. Are they doing those things? If not, then you can make an assumption that, hey, maybe within there's something that's not aligned there and they might need help with that.
So this is the biggest struggle, I'm gonna be honest with you, is like leading people to drop the pretense of whatever mask they're wearing. Everybody pretends to be really successful when you talk with them, and
Yeah.
you can actually read through the lines that many times people are struggling just like energetically. And so it's like, I know I can help people. Is it appropriate for me to say I can sense you're struggling? I can sense your energy like that, like you said, is my question. You know, I come across a little bit abrupt sometimes. So yeah, being mindful of that.
Yeah, with that, it's not about talking. So that's the thing. You cannot start by talking about the energy. You have to start by talking about the external world, because only then they're going to open up in terms of the internal world.
When you say external world, you mean their environment, their reality, their situation in their business? So
Yes,
sort of like that?
how they
Okay.
how they're showing up online. So it's kind of having a little bit of understanding of, okay, so just knowing your head, how should the profile, a Facebook profile of someone look like that is signing clients, right? That is making the money they claim they're making, that is an authority, right? If someone has a Facebook profile full of quotes but no pictures of themselves, what does that tell you?
They're just not willing to be visible. They're hiding.
Okay, so when
Mhm.
you approach them, you don't talk about, hey, I have some tips for you to raise your energy level to stop hiding. You just say, hey, so I noticed on your profile that X, Y, and Z, I have some content ideas for you to show up as the authority, right? That's a softer landing than
Mhm.
immediately going for the energy part.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's just at this point, all I
Does that
can
make
think of is,
sense?
yeah, it does. And all I could think of is how do I switch it to focus more on what I want to find out? Because it's like, it feels almost like being vomited on. It's like, hello, how are you? What do you do? Blah. It's almost comical, you know? So switching it, that's what I'm gonna practice. And do you understand what I said? Did you miss a part?
No, my internet froze. Can you repeat, do you mind?
I said that sometimes it feels almost like you're being uh, thrown up. Like you say, hi, how are you? What do you do? And they're like, rah, with the whole picture of everything. So it's comical. And I'm practicing changing it into talking about them without falling into the, I want to be your friend and let's chat forever. You know, nobody has time to chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, my tip for that is just ignore it. Like when they pitch you, just ignore it. Like
Okay.
just act like you didn't see it. And one thing that's important to address, right? Because obviously we can talk about this, but the reality is like in the day to day, a lot of the times we lose touch with our why because you're not in the DMs because you want to spend your time there. You're there for a reason. Um, and we have to think about our why and our intention. So your why is like, okay, long term, where do I want to take my business? Why do I want to have this coaching business? And then intention is, okay, given that this is my why, when I'm in the DMs and I'm sitting down, what is my intention here, right? So an example could be my why is that I want to help women in sales. I want to get women to be comfortable in selling. And then in my intention in the DMs is to give people value, to establish if I have authority, and if it makes sense, to invite that person on a call. So when you're clear about that, that is your intention, no one can shame you that you're trying to pitch them. No one can shame you that you're trying to sell to them. Yes, this is a business. Of course, I'm trying to sell, but only if we are aligned and only if you see my authority and only if you think the things I'm giving you are valuable and only if you agree that this will solve your problems. So, Natalia, for you, what is your why? Why do you want to do this?
I just like having impact in the lives of women. I really want to see them thrive. I want to see them let go of the drama and the shaming and the beating themselves up and being victims and thinking there's no hope. Because once they shift that mindset and they go into creator mode, the sky is the limit on what they're able to accomplish. But many times women deal with unworthiness, and so they don't think they're worthy of living that life. So I want to see people make that transition, that shift, believing in themselves, going after what they want and seeing it manifest and allowing themselves to have what they want. It's possible. It's just many times they get resigned. They don't even try. They don't think it's possible, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So with that, when you are in the DMs, what is your intention?
I always want to make a difference with them. Um, I always go about making a difference with people all the time. When I deal with people, um, it's always my difference, my approach. Where I fall into is that I provide the value, and like we're talking about, it doesn't go into more than providing the value. I know I'm an authority. I know I make a difference, and there's still a gap into being able to bring them into the calls and being able to convert them. Basically, that's, I would say, it's kind of like a phases process, and I'm in that phase, you know. And I
Yeah.
want to make a bigger impact. That's my determination has always been making a bigger impact. Making more money doesn't really inspire me.
Okay, that's clear.
Mhm.
So, what I would say there is, you have to evaluate the stages in the DMs. So once you connect with people, that's one stage. You build rapport, that's another stage. Depending on how you got in touch with them, either you ask permission to give value or you've delivered a value. And then the part afterward is the follow-up. So when you deliver the value, you have to follow up with them. Hey, what did you think of this? Or deliver another piece of value, right? If they are responsive, they're your people. If they're not responding, maybe they're not serious right now about it. And you should find people that are serious about it, because there are enough people that need what you offer. So it's also about keeping the lead flow going. So you're not only looking at the people that, okay, right now none of them responded, let me try to get a response out of them. No, all of the stages are important for it to flow. And then automatically that results into finding the people that need your solution right now.
Mm-hmm. That's very helpful. Thank you, Aisha.
You're welcome. So let's summarize that part. So solution number 2 is you really have to stay connected with your why and have a clear intention when you're going in the DMs. And one thing that helps me a lot with making sure my energy level, right, that I'm in either in service or I'm more into the abundance mindset, is honestly to stay connected with myself. Because if you are searching for that validation in the outer world, yes, rejection becomes difficult to deal with because you think it has something to do with you. But you need to make sure you are connected with yourself. So for me, I don't have my notebook here, but I have, yeah, here it is. I have this little book where I write my beliefs every day that I practice. And they change with time as my business transitions. Doing breath work to really like connect with your body, to get out of your head and stay in touch with your heart and your body. And also just playing with my dog. Like, why not? That's also a way to soothe yourself. So everyone can find their own way of, either it's a routine you do right before you go in the DMs, committing yourself to meditation, breath work, a little bit of journaling, playing with your pet, right? To really get in touch with your why and your intention. So now we're going into the last part. And this is where we have to talk about the collective, I would say. So women, a lot of us are conditioned to want to be liked. We are the ones that have to keep the harmony. And somehow we just grow up relating no response or rejection to our inner worth. And that's a really big problem, because it's your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors, they're all connected to each other. So if you feel, okay, I'm not good enough, the value isn't good enough, I don't think this is my place, right? That just means avoidance. That just means one person saying no to you offering value in the DMs means you're just gonna not want to do it anymore. And then we have the thoughts that reinforces both. So imposter syndrome, thinking like, okay, this isn't, I shouldn't be doing this. I need to change my strategy, right? So we have to be very mindful of how this triangle manifests and how it's related to our story. So what I want us to do right now is just take a practical example. Gabby, would you like to do this one together with me?
Sure.
Okay, so let me just make it smaller. Okay, so can you tell me what is your current behavior right now when it comes to the DMs?
I struggle with knowing what to give, like what would be considered value without giving away what I think that they need. So,
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm explaining myself.
So
So
you mean you feel like if you give away too much, you're kind of giving away the answers?
the answers, or potentially, like Natalia was saying, potentially coming across as like I'm trying to tell them that they need to go within because they have some beliefs they need to work on, versus like all they want to hear is about the relationship. You know what I mean? Like crossing that line when they're not there yet.
Okay, so how is that manifesting in your behavior right now?
Well, it's preventing me from reaching out in that way. It's giving me that imposter syndrome, if you will, maybe.
Okay, so what is that thought then? Is it
Yeah,
in my place?
I think it would be a thought, correct?
Okay, so but what is the thought? It's not my place, or
Oh, is that the right content? Is that the right thing to say? Like, am I?
okay, what else?
And I think also the afraid of them thinking here comes, she's gonna pitch something. So,
Okay,
because we all think that, and so I'm thinking they think that, but that's me thinking, that's me reflecting what I think other people also think. So yeah, I guess that's the fear of like, oh God, I don't want them to think I'm pitching, and if so,
okay.
how do I handle that? Because I'm really good at connecting with people once they allow me to connect.
What would you say are the feelings?
What would I say? The what? You froze. Or you're back. You froze before.
Sorry, what did you say? What are the feelings? Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's
What are
okay.
the-
Well, the feelings of like, imposter syndrome, like, oh my God, am I going to be saying something they're not ready to hear? Am I sounding not knowledgeable enough to them, or are they going to judge the way I speak?
Okay.
Yeah, essentially.
But what specifically about the way you speak?
Well, I mean, sometimes I struggle with some words because English is not my first language. But also I think my main concern is what I said before, is like not taking them to the place where they're gonna feel, oh gosh, she's trying to change my beliefs, and I want to talk about my relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, I would say, in the DMs, that is not the place to dive deep into mindset at the beginning, because people are mostly thinking about the end result, so the outcome, the relationship. So you have to let them talk about their relationship, right? So that's completely fine. And then when they open up, that's when you start to talk about the mindset parts of it.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this. So how do you think you would have to break this cycle?
Gaining some authority.
And how do you go about gaining authority?
Shifting my mindset and my beliefs, and practicing what I preach. In other words, I have a specific routine that I do in the morning to get my day going. So I guess prepare myself before I go on a DM with that a routine as well that kind of raises my vibration, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And to get into that state of like, no, I know my intention is good. My intention is to help and make an impact. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been there, I've done that. So I need to remember to come across as that, like just remind myself and do whatever that it takes to get there. Like you said before, whether it's like going on a walk with nature or doing my meditation or my breathwork or whatever it takes, preparing myself, just like we would prepare ourselves if we go somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, also trusting the numbers, because how many couples are getting a divorce per year? Isn't it like 40% or something like that?
Oh, it's a lot. And me having left the corporate world in the family law industry where we dealt with divorce, I did that for 20 plus years. I know what that's like, but I
Right,
never ever imagined it had to do with a mindset shift.
right.
And so, yeah, I feel, I mean, I talk to friends, right, about their relationship issues without being their coach. And money is never a thing, like a program or them doing a session. I do that very well, but I think when it comes to money, asking for money in this case, which is what the DMs would lead to, is where I'm struggling.
Right. So I would say for you, it's also the detachment from the outcome. Because if you talk with someone about their relationship and they start opening up, that's when you start to talk about the mindset shift. And then you invite them on a call. You don't ask them for money.
Right.
Hey, I hear you. I appreciate you opening up to me. If you would like me to go deeper on some of the things I just said, like, I have 30 minutes tomorrow. Is this something you want to work on? And if they're serious about fixing their relationship, they will accept your offer. But you have to trust that what you bring to the table is valuable enough because you went through that transformation yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So thank you for participating. And, for me, I also feared rejection a lot. And sometimes I still don't enjoy it. But I also know my number. So yes lives in the land of no. You have to hear no's in order for you to hear a yes. And it's part of the sales process. And that's where a lot of us female coaches are not really, when we get into building our coaching business, it's a lot of talk about marketing and getting leads, etc. And the sales process, it's kind of like people don't really talk about that. But sales has a process to it. It starts with prospecting, connecting with people, providing value to them, doing the sales presentation, handling the objection, getting the money, or following up, right? And right now, only 10% in the market is actively either considering a solution or is ready to buy. 90%, so the majority of people, will not be buying right now. And buyers need, in high ticket, at least 7 to 12 touch points before they buy. So whether that's them consuming your content for 11 hours and having that conviction, or sometimes they're just not gonna immediately buy. That's fine. It needs to be our expectation rather than us being surprised when it happens. Because when you expect it to happen, you invest your time and your energy into creating the systems to follow up, into putting events and inviting people to events, even when they've said no. And for us women, it's so important to become aware of the story. So if we want to master sales, we have to take control of that story, of that triangle. So whenever you're sitting down, you're doing the DMs, or you've done a sales call and maybe it didn't go well, pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to the thoughts that are coming up, right? Because if we don't actively work on breaking that triangle, we're never going to be able to really consistently generate revenue in our business. And one powerful way of doing this is reframing rejection. So, of course, we get to decide what rejection means. So, if right now we're thinking, oh, I don't want to do it because what if someone doesn't want to speak to me? Oh, actually, I get to do it. Like, I enjoy helping women with their relationships. I enjoy helping women get insights of how they can develop their business. Or if someone says no, no means not yet. They're not saying no to me, they're saying no to their dreams of growing their business, of fixing their relationship, of getting that balance back in their life, right? So it's about taking control of the story with reframes. And if we are talking about what does it take to do all of this, a lot of the times we want to rely on confidence. But confidence is not a real feeling. And confidence comes from competence. And competence means that you have a certain skill level. And that skill level, a lot of times, it comes from tapping into courage, right? So instead of you being here, like really oscillating, like, oh, I feel so angry that everyone's rejecting me. I'm just gonna message a bunch of people and make that sale. And then you make it, but your energy level is in force, right? What we want to do is really at least go into having the courage to humble ourselves, to learn, to take this step, to serve. That's how I did it. Back then when I started all of this, I didn't have the competence, but I had a belief in myself that if I invested my time and my energy into this, that I will get better at the DMs, that I will get better at sales. I just had the courage. That's it. That's the only thing you need to rely on. And being disciplined to dedicate yourself to inner work every day, right? So what we said, journaling, getting in touch with your intentions, reminding yourself of your why. Back then when I got started, one of the things that kept me going was just the image, the visualization of me being able to move back home and live with my parents. So that's how I did it. I really visualized all of this. Um, so if I can round off part three, the solution to really breaking up with, you know,
You froze, Aisha.
practicing mental reframes. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry guys, something happened with the internet. Thank you for being here. I realized I was on the wrong network as well. I'm just gonna repeat this. So solution number three is, to stop seeing rejection as a you thing, and honestly realizing like you cannot control other people's actions. The only thing you have control over is yourself, and your inner state. So you have to become aware of your story around rejection, practicing those mental reframes, and what I was saying, relying on courage, not on confidence. And the solution you need for all of this is honestly to learn how to sell in a joyful way. So being really passionate about your offer and the value that you bring. Serving people to the point that you can keep increasing your energy level, right? So tapping into surface, and from surface onward, tapping into those higher energy states where you're just enjoy, you're having fun, you accept people, you see everyone as part of the one, and honestly just building the skills. So what now, right? So if you are really serious about generating revenue in your business. So not getting friend zoned in the DMs, knowing what value to add, knowing how many DMs you should be sending per day to achieve that, knowing what to look for on someone's profile to know if they're qualified even. And you want to also learn how to tackle objections, how to overcome the I don't have the money objection. Then you should book a free clarity call with me. And in this call, we will get laser clear on where you are right now. We will get clear on where it is that you want to be. And we can discover like what are the blocks that are in the way and build a roadmap for your next steps. So that is more strategy related. So today we really spoke about the inner work that's needed. And this really builds on top of that. So doing that gives space for taking this next step. And I really want you to leave here with a commitment to yourself, your why, and your intention to actually implement the things we spoke about. To sit down with yourself when you are in the moment, taking those actions to become aware of the feelings and the thoughts and how that's leading into hesitation to take action or leading into not following up. Because I can give you all the strategies, but if the feeling state is not there and you are not tapping into courage, it becomes difficult to sustain that without, the burnout or without forcing yourself. Growing a business, forcing yourself, it's not nice because you're going to keep flirting with other strategies. You're going to keep investing money. I know people that have invested over 30K, 50K. And a lot of the times it's not the strategy. It's, us having to do also the inner work, which no mentor can do for you. So if you feel that you are ready to do the inner work and want to also adopt the strategies, please send me a DM and I will send you the link to book the call. And with that, we are also at the end of the workshop. I just realized that the internet was just on the wrong network the whole time. So I'm sure I froze a lot of times. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day, ladies. Thank